And I want to ask you to pray for the nation Canada. It was like as if our spirit permit me the future. I mean, the nearest future. I saw a TV, like a news, watching this news updated, highlighted, written spear in Canada. Spear, S-P-E-A-R, spear in Canada. You are to pray for Canada as a nation. Something is coming big. Something is coming. Thank you.
Call it progress. However slow it seems, hydro crews, bolstered by hundreds of workers from the U.S., are getting Ontario's power grid up and running.
It's really the degree of the devastation that's occurred. It's very complex.
Complex to the tune of 1,400 hydro poles and 1,000 kilometers of power lines to replace, spread out over virtually the entire southern part of the province. 150,000 homes remain without power, and another 100,000 in Quebec. And that's led to long lines at gas stations, provided they're open at all. Demand is so high, many have run dry.
They came down right onto all of the vehicles.
Nick McKay, for one, doesn't expect to get power back anytime soon. The massive trees in the Pine Glen neighborhood of Ottawa, where he lives, were no match for the 120 kilometer-per-hour winds, nor were the cars now smashed in his driveway.
One of the trucks is folded in half. The little car is completely flat, and the Jeep has sustained a lot of damage on the front. There's a tree sitting on the hood.
The storm is being called one of the most destructive in Ontario's history. It cut through the most populous part of the country with near tornado-strength winds, and it moved so quickly there was little warning, as thrill seekers at Canada's Wonderland found out.
They're just stuck there!
Video posted on TikTok showed people stuck on the massive behemoth roller coaster for half an hour as the storm passed through. It's a storm that knocked the top off silos and left the Eder farm in disarray.
So this pile that used to be a machine shed and also a mobile home that was on the property.
But those can be rebuilt. Their family, including a herd of dairy cows, are alive and well, which they attribute in part to luck.
On the Mother Nature side, I mean, that's when you realize like there's nothing we could have done except, you know, hide in the basement or in a safe space.
Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.
We got the alert that came through approximately 1:05, and then the next thing you knew, black skies, and it was just a whirlwind.
I have never seen anything like it. Like 10 minutes later, it was over. It was, yeah, it was...
You're okay?
I'm okay, yeah.
Tragically, the long weekend was interrupted by a destructive derecho, a long-lived windstorm that swept across southern Ontario and Quebec. The town of Uxbridge, about an hour northeast of Toronto, declared a state of emergency on Saturday as a result of the damage left by storm winds that reached over 130 kilometers an hour in some parts of the province. Many roads are closed throughout the township, and public works and emergency services are continuing to remove trees and ensuring hazards from downed power lines are managed.
I was in my son's room looking out the window and I saw it come in. I shouldn't have been there, but I was. Those trees just started going every which way. And then I actually saw a flash at the end of our driveway. Didn't know it at the time because I couldn't see it, but it was actually the high voltage power lines coming down.
This is a historic part of town. All the mature trees knocked over, and we had a few of those trees fall on the garage in my house.
The potential is that this was a tornado. The Northern Tornadoes Project is going to come in and say for sure, but either way, the damage here in Uxbridge is significant, and unfortunately, it's really going to disrupt a lot of lives here in the town.
I'm very fortunate, very fortunate. I've lost some of the deck, I've got fence, and I've lost 3 windows. But if that's the worst, other people have lost their homes.
While we are still dealing with these strong winds and major thunderstorms across the GTA, Toronto Fires implemented severe weather protocols. They received over 100 calls and incidents related to these outages with power lines down. Pretty much everybody across the GTA's felt the wrath of this fast-moving storm. Toronto Hydro has been extremely busy responding to a number of outages. The utility says that it's currently responding to numerous widespread outages across the entire city. It's now advising residents that if you come across down wires, stay at least 10 meters back, which is about the length of a school bus. Toronto police have closed their non-emergency lines. They ask everybody to call 911 if there's an emergency.
Dozens of trees, and I'm talking big trees, down around the Hyde Park area. Along Parkside at one point, all of the power was out, so you can imagine traffic going really slow.
So at about 12:30 this afternoon here in North Burlington, it got really dark. The wind picked up considerably and it started raining about 10 minutes later. That's when the power went out, kind of flickered on and off multiple times for maybe about 30 to 40 seconds before it went off for good. Say the storm probably took about a half hour to pass, so it's cleared up here in North Burlington.